Today we are looking at Chris Williamson's annual review worksheet. He made this for the individual, so we're going to go back and forth talking about our year, answering the questions that he's put forward, and maybe having some deep introspective thought about what we could do going forwards. Connor, what is the first one on the list?
First question on the list, nice and simple. How has this year gone? Yeah, let's put our egos on the table, man. Let's dissect it, get into it. And yeah, this isn't about a new year, new me. This is just about authenticity. Yeah. So how has this year gone?
2025 was really good for so many reasons. I managed to stabilize my gigging career. I was able to explode my YouTube channel growth. My target for 2025 was 25,000 subscribers. I started the year at maybe 13,000 and I ended the year on 430 something thousand.
How mental is that?
Absolutely wild.
Obviously not this channel. For those of you watching, it is
Will Taylor, my main channel, which I now resent.
Yeah, maybe 2026 started a little bit shaky, but that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's very cool. But the other thing that it gave me last year, which I still consider to be a good thing, is perspective on how achieving certain lifelong goals, like it would be my goal forever to hit 100,000 subscribers in a year. How hitting your goals is not the end of the journey. It simply just levels you into a new plane of existence.
So I think you are jumping ahead. And I'm going to put a little pin in that because I'd like to come back to it. So let's just keep it on this. How has this year gone? And we'll jump to me. But how has this year gone? Tell me what went well, what went badly, and why. Let's focus on those 4 questions because the next one is what lessons did I learn, which is, I think, where you're jumping to already. So let's just focus. How has this year gone? Good. Nice. Well done. What went well? What went badly?
My work ethic went well. I learned how to work.
Because you don't know how to do that. You're pretty lazy.
No, but it's an evolution. Like if you look at how hard I worked in 2024 versus 2025, I learned how to work an awful lot harder, get an awful lot done per unit of time in 2025 than I did 2024, and I hope that 2026 I'll continue that learning and growth. Again, jumping forward, I apologise. What went badly? Work-life balance.
Yes.
So I had multiple conversations with my other half about sort of, am I working too much? Will you're at your computer all the time? My fitness wasn't a consideration. Diet wasn't a consideration. Holidays were an argument to get me to go on them.
Which is so ironic because once you're on them, you love them and don't want to come back.
Absolutely love them, yeah.
Something to be explored there, but that's fine. We won't ever look at that.
Yeah, so that was probably the negative of the year, was the yin and yang of what it's like to actually work at a efficient level.
Okay, so you've covered what went well, what went badly. You've touched on the why. Nice. There's a real good insight, overarching view into your year. So this year for me went well. I'm content, very happy with how this year turned out. I think I've said this before, 2024 was a really tough year. 2025, I feel like I've done a lot of investing into myself and a lot of growing. And I'm excited for 2026 to continue that, but to very much put it to practice. So what went well? What went well was personal development. I think I spent a lot of time investing into myself personally, whether that was through therapy, whether that was through meditation, whether that's personal development, whether that is through, as ridiculous as it sounds, going to the dentist for the first time in 7 years and finding out you have 3 fillings, you need to have 2 wisdom teeth out. Wonderful. Just those small investments into myself this year, big or small, have been incredible.
But before we get into that, I want to tell you about Huel. Huel is sort of our affiliate sponsor on this channel and is a nutritionally complete way to avoid having meals. You can basically eat one of these or drink one of these. And how many calories is it? It's many calories, which is good for you.
Just those small investments into myself this year, big or small, have been incredible. It's been a year where I've been able to get out of the self-loathing stage and into the practicality of trying to fix or work on problems that have caused me grief. So what went well? Personal development, whether that's, again, spiritual, mental, physical. I'm so grateful for the year I've had and the attitude I've had going into it. What went well? Professional. You know, which is ironic because I've left the job. But I've done very well professionally. I was very blessed in the company that I worked for, respected my work ethic and how I worked, and they wanted to give me more opportunities. They sent me over to Sri Lanka to their global summit to converse with the big head, you know, sitting there for dinner, for breakfast with like the CBO, like chief business officer, and I'm just working in sales. It's like the disparity is ridiculous, but professionally went really well. And what I really liked about it was it gave me an insight into how I work in a professional environment. I think I always accepted my limitations within the UK of being like, well, you come from a small town. You're not ever going to become anything. There's no opportunities here. You're not ever going to amount to much. Whereas I was like, no, if I put my mind to something, I can achieve very big things within very big companies. So that was really cool. What went badly, I hate to say it, but it is a little bit of social endeavors, both romantic and friendships. So romantic, sure, needed to have a growth process. Absolutely. I acknowledge that because 2024, like I said, was a tough year. So 2025 was very much about embracing that side of me again. But I think I've sacrificed some friendships, not to the point of them dissipating, but in the pursuit of self-actualization, self-perfection, betterment, I've neglected some social relationships. Yeah, I think but that was like I said, at the pursuit of trying to become better as a human. So that's the why there. What lessons did you learn, Will? That's my overarching. I suppose that gives people a really nice, unique snapshot of who we are as people. Whether they're still with us, I hope they are. Maybe they're still with us, but in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, or maybe 1 year's time, maybe we blow up because we're just incredible people. Or maybe we never blow up because we're not incredible. But anyway.
You can be an incredible person and not blow up. It just means that the content you make is fundamentally bad.
That idea scares me.
Yes, me too. So it was what I learned in 2025. I learned that subscriber count does not mean money. That was a still tough lesson, actually. You have all these preconceptions about what big YouTubers earn, and you look forward to that, and part of the appeal of achieving the certain subscriber count is the financial aspect. I won't have to worry about paying my bills anymore. Like, no, it doesn't do anything for you. And that is an unteachable lesson. As we're doing a Chris Williamson thing, he's got a thing of unteachable lessons. You can't ever persuade somebody that if they had 100,000 followers or 400,000 followers, that they would not be financially okay. No, it's true. I'm not. And it might be that my skill set isn't where it needs to be to make sales, or I don't have a product to sell, which I don't, which bugs the hell out of me. But the reality is I have a high subscriber count and I don't earn a lot of money. There you go. That's probably the toughest lesson, because so much of my self-worth was tied up in that.
Yeah. And that's something we've explored together. Sorry, I know I cut you off there, but that's something we explored and will continue to, I'm sure, as we go on. So that's a very professional lesson that you've learned or learnt during this time. What about personal? Is there any lessons you've learnt personally throughout this year? Socially? What else has stuck out as something that you've taken away from this year?
Two big social lessons. The first one is the importance of spending time with your other half, not as a chore, but as you actually want to and genuinely enjoying the time and allowing the mental space to do that. I'm saying this as a lesson that I'm still learning. I still feel the natural, like my brain is always busy. I'm always thinking about the next business thing. I just went to Newquay and I messaged you I gave you a call on the first day.
You had done work on the day you arrived.
Yeah. I mean, part of that is that just who I am and that's okay? Yes. Also, how much of it is I should also try and separate so I can be there for the people in my life that aren't related to work. And, that's, something that I'm learning, but it's something that's now on my radar that wasn't before. The second one is these very podcasts. This is a lot of my socialization, if you look at it in the grand scheme of a week. And it's okay to put on pause the Will Taylor stresses and everything and have an open, deep discussion about whatever the topic is that day. And it's been a really fun way for me to understand myself on a deeper level. And also, I think pretty much going through that with you at the same time and getting to understand each other has been a really nice way of growing socially.
So would you say you've learned that it's okay to embrace this sort of communicative style? And it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have open discussions and understand you might be lacking in some areas, a little bit further ahead in others, and just having an open discussion about yourself and what makes you unique without it defining you as well.
Yeah.
Without attaching to the conversations.
Having the space to do so, creating the space to do so.
I think it's really important for a lot of people to do that because this is something we're probably going to try and preach as we continue to grow this channel. But, we are literally two guys of a certain generation, slightly different generation. You're Gen Z, you fucking weirdo.
Can't help it.
It's gross. But we've been maybe actively discouraged from having deep conversations. I know definitely during my generation of millennials we have been. I know it's changing now, and that's for the better. But hopefully we can encourage those to have similar discussions and open up and feel like their voices have validity and they deserve to be heard. So what lessons have I learned during this year?
What have you learned?
I know, it's really
I
tough.
wanna know.
This is a really tough one for me to reflect on because I think I've been very much head in the sand. I suppose when I reflect on it, it is a case of isolation will only get you so far. Development exists in the real world and coexists with other people on a similar journey. It's great to be intrinsically motivated. It's great to isolate yourself and to do the work behind closed doors. Absolutely. But you've got to allow other people the chance to be supported, to support you, to embrace change together. Because life is a community-based game. And if you're not involving other people, then you are going to feel incredibly isolated. I suppose lessons, again, I touched on it in what went well, but that I questioned the belief that I wasn't professionally inclined, which I know may not seem very big for people, but for me it's huge. I was never academically inclined. I'm not the smartest person in the room by a long shot. I've always been the person that can converse quite well and encourages people to do the same, but when it comes to professional rooms, I often feel outmatched. When I think about my family and the people immediately close to me, my brother, he's got a master. He's working towards his master. He's computer scientist, working towards his master's. My cousin's just got into Cambridge. She's in her first year there.
Wow.
I nearly dropped out of college. I'm not super smart. So I always thought I was quite limited in that regard. And to be able to succeed in a area of life, although it's corporate, sure. And I roll my eyes as if that's nothing to be celebrated, but it is. It's something to be celebrated. I think I learned that I have a deeper capacity for learning and understanding and professional development than I ever thought possible. which I thought was a really awesome lesson to learn. I'm really grateful I got to learn that lesson. What habit or system accounted for most of your success?
What habit or system accounted for most of my success last year?
Yes.
Undoubtedly, consistency.
Talk to me about consistency, Will. But let me interrupt that with Huel. Huel is our sponsor on this channel. It is a nutritionally complete meal. You can get money off with the link in the description below. Take a look, see what you like, see what we like on that link as well. Save yourself some money, get some Huel.
Or use the QR code.
Talk to me about consistency, Will.
Whether I was...
Without getting too excited.
Whether I was...
Calm down.
Whether I was feeling it or not, having the metric of did I upload a video today or did I not? That's a great starting point for where my consistency journey began. And I've been making videos pretty consistently for about 4 years. Maybe missing the odd day. But really 2025 is when I locked in. And I was like, no, if I'm going to do this professionally, it's time to take it seriously and treating myself like my boss. Would I fire me today if I was just an employee? That shift in mindset was really important. So yeah, it's just can you do the thing when you want to do it? Yes. Can you do the thing when you don't want to do it? Much tougher, but I've proved to myself that I can. Interestingly, does the quality of output change when I do it when I want to do it versus when I do it when I don't want to do it? No, not really.
That is interesting. Why do you think that is?
I suppose the pairing question is, am I the type of person that's going to cut corners during this or not? And if you don't cut corners when you're filming, like, for example, if I don't want to be on camera that day and I have to be because I don't have a video going out, will I show that on camera or will I not? If the answer is no, then there is no change in output, despite what I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
In the edit, when I'm editing it together, when I'm making it, packaging it in a way that works best for the YouTube algorithm, do I cut corners? Do I decide to color correct that video or not? Will people notice? It's the extra little bump that I think makes it look better, but I don't have any evidence that says, yep, videos perform better when I do this or not. So there's a thing that I would identify, but like, I'm not going to color correct on this one. It's like, no, I'm not that type of person. Am I the type of person that cuts corners or not? The person I want to be doesn't cut corners. Therefore, I'm not allowing myself to cut corners.
So do you think consistency breeds discipline?
Yes. Because if you want to be consistent, and obviously you can be consistent over different timelines. So if I was to be consistent and upload once a week, it's a lot lower barrier to entry than once a day. Once a day means no days off. No days off. Mental. Absolutely mental. In terms of a consistency challenge, it's impossible to upload a video once a day without discipline. There's you're ill for a week in any given year. Most people are. If you're one of the lucky ones that doesn't get ill for 2-3 years at a time, great. But you will have a year at one point where you were ill for a week. And you really won't feel like being on camera. You really won't. Are you the type of person that will allow that to stop the consistency? Or do you allow it as an opportunity to show authenticity and carry on?
I suppose that consistency is going to compound momentum and it's going to build habits. Chris Williamson talks about the book Atomic Habits. I can't remember the author. If you know it, please tell me. But he says, and this is the most important thing when it comes to building a habit or maintaining a habit, which is, one missed day is a mistake. The second missed day is a start of a new habit. So the consistency will build the momentum, but keep a habit in place as well. It'll build trust and accountability and credibility as well. So if you're someone that, like you say, is performance based in regards to your output when it comes to YouTube, YouTube is going to reward you for your credibility of uploading every day.
Yeah.
I suppose as well, the small efforts are going to lead to big changes. The big changes are going to be moved by those small efforts of showing up consistently every day.
Yeah. And it's also, you might be motivated, but showing up every day, regardless of how your output performs. For example, on YouTube, you can make videos, or I can make videos. We talk about me in this bit. It's my year.
Very selfish of you
I
to
know.
talk about you and your year review.
I know, right?
How dare you?
It's interesting. This is like my yearly appraisal.
It's not going well.
No, it's not. I would make videos, and for the same unit of effort that goes into them, one would get 35 million views. That was my highest performing video last year. Highest performing video ever on my channel.
Wild.
Crazy. Other videos, 500 views. Same effort to make the video. Exactly the same format. Exactly the same presentation. Exactly the same color grading. Exactly the same everything. Pretty much even the speech. Some will perform really well, some won't. I'm currently going through a trend, and actually the trend started last year, which is why it's relevant. From the end of November through to now, channel has been steadily declining. And steadily means really high start point, really low finish point. And my average views per day is going down, which is scary. But has it impacted my consistency? No. Why? Because consistency is the game. I like to see it as YouTube's just making sure. Are you worthy of being here? Is this like, are you going to still carry on when I give you loads of views? Are you going to carry on when I take them all away?
So what you're suggesting is there might be some people that find consistency easy when everything's going well.
Yeah.
And consistency hard when things are not going so well.
And it is. It's really easy when things are going well. It's all the people that say, I'm not going to start doing the self-employed thing because nothing's perfect. It's like, okay, when was the last time anything in your life was perfect?
Yeah, it's so true.
Like,
Stop waiting for the perfect time.
I had my September month was perfect. I couldn't believe every day I was waking up, I was making more money than I've ever made in my life. I was getting more views than I've ever had in my life. I was more fulfilled than I've ever been in my life. But I realized that all of that was really just fake. It wasn't really real. It was my interpretation of the scenario. The fundamental work was still exactly the same. It was just the numbers at the end of the day. That's it. The fundament, like, was I making a video or was I not? This podcast, very exciting thing that we started last year. I can bring that mindset to the podcast and can say, whether or not the videos get millions of views or not, the fundamental activity of us making the videos is the same. We are doing the dream now.
We are.
And that is incredibly exciting.
Nice. So consistency is the habit or system that's accounted for most of your success.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
For you.
Courage.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to become someone I've never been and overcome problems I've always been struggling with. So to become someone you've never been, or to go somewhere you've never been, requires courage and bravery. It took courage to show up every Tuesday evening for therapy. Not just to show up, but to be present, to be open, to be ready to have the difficult conversation, to catch yourself when you're lying, to call yourself out on your bullshit, to listen to opposing views, to question automatic negative thoughts. Dr. Daniel Amen says that. Ants, automatic negative thoughts. Courage has accounted for most of my success. Because this year has been, or the year just gone rather, has been quite transformative. But without the courage to step into the uncomfortable nature of the world, or the uncomfortable nature of change, I would not have become, or allowed myself to become this version of myself. And I know I'm not finished, but then arguably, when is anyone ever going to be finished? No situation is ever going to be perfect, so navigate with the best environment you've got. But maybe 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to say, I kind of like who I am, whereas now I feel like I can. And I think that's courage. That's taken a lot of time to get there. And again, it was courage to question thoughts and patterns that kept me safe. You know, I think I've said I've had 3 different negative coping mechanisms throughout my life, which has been like travel, which has been just running away, like weed, which has just been ignoring, and self-harm. And it took courage to look at all of those, understand what they were serving and what they were keeping safe, and push them away. And I know there's still courage that requires moving on to the next steps, and that's kind of where I'm at now. But courage and bravery, man. Nice.
Well, I celebrate you.
I appreciate that. Thank you for using my words. You're never going to let that drop, are you?
I think you've come a very long way. I think it did take a lot of courage for you to go through all that and come out the other side and still be a happy chappy.
I try and be a happy chappy. I always try and give the facade that I'm a very laid back happy chappy.
You pull it off very well.
I know I do.
Maybe you actually are that person.
Maybe this is something I've got to think about, is maybe I am just the person I think I'm pretending to be. Maybe if I stopped trying to pretend to be that person, I would just be that person. One of life's mysteries.
Mm.
Are you the person you're pretending to be? Or are you pretending to be that person? Okay, so this next question is a 2-parter.
Okay.
So I'll give you the first, and then I'll give you the second right after, but you can think about them both. What are the most valuable ways I spend my time? How can I find more time for this? What are the most valuable ways I spend my time? How can I find more time for this?
I think genuinely one of the most valuable ways I spend my time is hanging out with friends. It's rejuvenating. I enjoy it. There's no pressure. I don't do it often. How often do we hang out as friends in the group?
It's become less frequent, unfortunately.
Once a month, tops.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of a splintering in our group, I think.
But I find those times really important, and I enjoy them, and it gets me out. It's one of the only times I don't think about work. I might be talking about work, but I'm not stressing about it. It's how do I make more time for that? Sending the message. Literally that. I can fit. I'm very lucky, and I'm very aware of this. It's not lost on me that not a lot of people can just decide to want to hang out with friends and then fit their work around that. Most people have to fit their friends around their work. I'm very flexible in terms of where I can spend my time and who I can spend it with. And still in 2025, I chose to just work. I chose to not prioritize that. And I think maybe the fact that I did that, for every strong movement in one direction, there's always a counterculture. For me, putting loads of time and effort into work has made me realize that actually the counter to that is no, you need to spend some time with some friends. And acknowledging its importance and really valuing it as it's happening.
You can only understand the value of something once you are without it.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunately one of life's cruelest lessons. You never quite know what you have until it's gone. What value do you think it would bring to your life or to anyone's life, improving the friendships that they have in their life?
Freedom of thought.
Interesting.
When you aren't in contact with friends that you trust and allow you to be yourself, you think down one train line, if you like. You're on that train of thought. When you get people around you whose opinions you trust, that is stretched out. And you can maybe then simultaneously see 3 train lines at the same time. And that perspective it almost spreads the stress across three different. The load is spread. It's very important to do that.
Problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah. And it never means the problem's solved, but it does lower the burden.
So I think you've touched on it, but I want a more clearer, defined answer. I apologize, I'm pushing you on it, but how can I find more time for this?
Work less.
Do you think you're going to be able to do that?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes a lot. I think I'm making inroads to that, into like going to the gym. If I make that part of my habit, I find that I run into friends. Like I bumped into Josh yesterday at the gym, and then bumped into Esme, who is somebody else that I know from the tennis club.
Well, I think we went to the gym together a few nights back, and we bumped into two of our friends, all training individually.
Yeah.
We have a very active friendship group, and we all, near enough, train at the same gym.
Yeah. So I think by doing that, I will be doing it, because I'm automatically then, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours out of my day that I'm not working.
Do you think you could find ways to bring friendship into shared experiences? So I know obviously we've started this, which is awesome. This is very much business, personal, mixed in together. But we go to the gym together. You know, it's a shared thing that we can do together, that we can enjoy doing. We're bettering ourselves, we're pushing ourselves, we're holding each other accountable. Do you think you could find ways to have shared experiences with people? Because it doesn't just have to be your day stops. You just sit. Like, I quite like the sitting in a coffee shop. I actually prefer going for a walk and having a coffee. But if that stunts your day, maybe you can find ways to have meaningful connections with your friends while doing something.
Yeah, like going to the gym or rock climbing we've done before.
Yep.
Driving range could be a good one. Bowling we did on my birthday. That was good fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to do. I think there's a stat, isn't there? Guys prefer to do activities as a first date because it allows them to open up, and there's a competitive nature. It's like, I think it's the same with friendship groups, and especially with our friendship group where we're all quite active naturally. We're the sportier type. I think it's a good idea, and I think that's probably a way that I'll do it.
Nice, man.
For you, what do you wish you'd allowed more time for this year?
So what are the most valuable ways I spend my time, and how can I find more time for this? So my immediate thought was friends, because like I said, in what went badly, I didn't create a lot of times for that. I did for a few select repeat people, because I'm quite fortunate. I've got quite a big circle of friends, but I've got a real core group. So I found as much as I could with those people. But I'm not going to expand on that one because we've touched on it and we've dissected it. And much of my point would be very similar to yours. So I'm going to jump to one that is slightly different, which is find time to spend in nature. I love going for a walk in the forest. I love going for a walk on the downs. I love going for a walk on the seafront. But I don't do it because I put a barrier to it. You know, I'm like, well, if I'm just going for a walk and just walk around my house, you know, just go for an hour walk around the blocks of my house. And it's boring as fuck. But my soul feels rejuvenated after a walk in nature, a walk in the forest. Honest to God, I feel so much better. I feel so much clearer. I feel like I can think. I feel like I can move. I feel like I can breathe. That is such a valuable way for me to spend my time. And I barely made time for it this year. Or this year just gone. How can I find more time for it is stop not making it a priority. It's a really bad phrasing, but make it a priority. Stop neglecting it. You know, it's better to go for like a 30-minute walk with the 15-minute drive either side than it is to go for an hour walk around your house. You know, get out, get some fresh air. Think about the benefits, not the cost to reward. Just think of the benefits. Stop thinking about a cost to it. You know, invest in the time to go out and make yourself feel better. Spending time in nature is such a valuable experience for me that it's such a good way to spend my time. And again, I think I'm freer, I can breathe, I can feel more honest, I can have better ideas. Yeah, that's a really valuable way I can spend my time.
That's nice.
And I'd like to do more of it.
We went for a walk in nature for your 30th birthday.
We did, yeah. I love that, man. That was so nice. That was such a good birthday for me because that's just what I like to do. You know, we walked from a car park over the downs to get a coffee, sat and had coffee and lunch. Then we walked all the way around. We got lost, not lost, we just didn't quite know where we were going. And then, yeah, it was like a 10K walk or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
It was awesome. I loved it, man. I felt so whole after that day. It felt amazing.
No, it was a really nice way to spend the day. And it was also nice to see you like engaged and enjoying it as well. I feel like quite often, especially on birthdays and things, we do activities that we think other people like. What can we do that the whole group will benefit from?
Yeah, what's amicable for everyone, yeah.
But it was nice that like the invites were out. If you want to go for the walk, let's go.
Yeah.
We did, and we all enjoyed it. It was really good.
Yeah. And then we went out for dinner as well, which more people joined for as well, which was really nice.
Where did we go for dinner again?
Yummy Noodle.
It
I
was.
think. Can't beat Yummy Noodle.
We need them to sponsor the channel. We do so much promotion.
Yeah, we do. We drop it in probably every third episode. I'm going to Yummy Noodle tomorrow night.
Hey,
Yeah,
nice.
with Erie.
Yeah. I hope they've got enough food.
Yeah.
You guys eat so much. So how can you, in 2026, make more time for going on these naturist walks?
Is that the words you want to use?
Yeah, those are the words I want to use.
Okay. We'll stick with that. I need to prioritize them and understand the benefits they will give me. Rather than seeing, like I said, the cost that's going to come from a 15-minute drive to get to. In reality, we live by the seaside, by the downs, and by forests. 15-minute drive to any one of them is pretty damn good when there's people that live in a city that have to get a tube and then a bus and then a this to get out of the city.
Have to go on holiday to go for these types of walks.
Yeah, exactly. So practicing gratitude of where we live is super important, but understanding that it's not a cost to get out and do these things. It's a reward. It's a benefit. Think of the longevity that you're going to get for it, rather than thinking, oh, you know, it's such an investment. I'm going to get stuck in traffic and going to cost me fuel. I can just walk here. I've probably got to prep there. I've got to take a water bottle. Like, I've got to maybe bring some snacks, a change of clothes and shoes in case I get dirty. Just go out and do it. Just go out and do it. Stop thinking about it. Stop intellectualizing it. Just do it. Just, yeah. That's my answer for that one.
Nice, just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Someone should coin that, really, shouldn't they?
Mm.
What brought me the most happiness, and how can I help these activities to happen more often? If you say work, I'm closing my laptop and walking away.
I think work brought me.
What brought me the most happiness? How can I help these activities to happen more often?
I think I inspired a lot of people last year.
I would agree with that.
I saw it in my family. Like, I know this is work adjacent, but I achieved, you know, I think it was from the point I hit 100,000 subscribers. I saw a dynamic shift in my family. It was like, one of us has actually achieved something that is hard to achieve. Both my brothers at that point instantly started taking their self-employment journeys way more seriously. My youngest brother did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reach outs. My middle brother, I don't know what else to call him.
Maybe his name.
James.
Middle brother.
I'm the oldest, he's the middle one, then we've got the youngest.
No one cares about the middle one, really, do they?
Well, he's quite cool. He's hard work, but he's quite cool.
The youngest is always the coolest, but proceed.
Definitely, I get most of my fashion from you and the youngest one. Yeah, he. I don't know. You think I work hard? He works hard. He's working 18-hour days, 7 days a week.
Damn.
For like the last 8 months. Crazy. maybe not, maybe 14 hours for the first 3 of the year, 4 of the year, 5 of the year, saw me do things and then upped it because 14 hours just isn't long enough. Absolutely fulfilling for me to know that my activities, my hard work pays off in more ways than just the views and just the income. It pays off in terms of actively changing other people's lifestyles to pursuing what they want to pursue. It made a lot of people look up as well. I felt slightly more noticed. Mm-hmm. I felt my confidence boost. What was the wording of this?
So what brought you the most happiness? So would you say inspiring others?
Yeah, that's the main one. Like, there's loads of people in the live streams that like said they started playing guitar and whatever because they watched my live streams. It's like, yes.
So how can you help these activities to happen more?
I think just continuing and maybe putting more of an emphasis on inspiring people. I find it incredibly fulfilling. I think inspiration could be actually the key why I've always enjoyed teaching people things. Because if you can show somebody something that they want to do and show, look, I've done it, so you can do it too, and give them that belief that they can do it, that I think is what I found most valuable when I've been teaching, whether it's tennis coaching or teaching flips or teaching instruments or doing whatever I'm doing, like talking to people about business or investing. It's like, I've done it and you can do it too. This is how. And you see their eyes like, oh, it's not a cloud of fog anymore. It's actually possible, and I can see a way to where I could do that. And you've made it achievable for me.
Got the heart of a teacher. I think you said that before.
Yeah, it's a Dave Ramsey thing. You want somebody in your life that's got the heart of a teacher, not the heart of a salesman. It's like, you're not trying to get something off of them. You're just trying to give. And like, if I can do it, then I can teach you how to do it.
Okay. So how can you help this activity to happen more? How can you find a way to inspire more during your life? Or the next year, rather?
I think acknowledging that if that is what brings me the most happiness, I should do more of it. And putting an emphasis on it. Like, let's try and inspire. I don't have a metric on how many people I inspired, but I want to feel like I've been able to help more people achieve their goals this year. This year than I did last year.
I like that, man. That's really cool. I hope that that's something you can find a way to embrace, because I think it would help your life take on a new meaning. I know that you're excited for the next stages of your life, which is kids. But I think this would really help give your professional career new meaning as well.
Mm.
So
and also,
the Will Taylor can shift.
Yeah, it's not financially driven from that point either. It's how much impact can I have that is good on scale. I could do that.
I like that, man. What brought me the most happiness? You've gone very practical. Where have I gone? Emotive. What a shock. Shared experiences. That has brought me the most happiness, undoubtedly, throughout this year. Because experiences by yourself are great, but when you can share them with someone, multiplies it 10, 20, 100-fold. I've had so many experiences this year that I've been able to have with other people in my life, whether it was when I was in Sri Lanka and I'd done the trip around, like with the tour company I was working with, or when I was in the summit with them, whether it was when I went skiing and snowboarding with my brother in France, whether it was shared experiences with other weekends away, friends I've got. It doesn't have to be big moments either, like starting this podcast. Shared experience of doing that together is great. Shared experiences of going for a walk with someone. So just shared experiences is super valuable for me, because it creates core memories. You know, I've always said it, life should be lived through experiences, not trying to accumulate as much wealth as possible or external validation, but just experiences. You know, live a life full of rich, fulfilling experiences. So how can I help these activities to happen more? I know I'm lazy. I know I pick easy and comfort over difficulty. And I use the excuse of I'm not very creative. So when I say that, for your birthday we went and played bowling, and then my mind literally went, well, we could go bowling, play pool, you could do laser quests, like you can go for a walk with people, you can go to the gym, you can go bouldering, you could go water skiing. And like suddenly my mind's open, but I'm not very creative to tell people, let's go do something like this. I'm like, let's just go for a walk. Sometimes I'm not very creative. Sometimes I'm not very comfortable to just tell people, let's try something new. And I wait for the experience to come to me sometimes. So how can I help these activities happen more often is be more creative. Be that person that's like, let's try something new together. Let's go to a salsa class. Why not? Because we're probably going to be shit at it. Probably can't move our hips anywhere near as much as we need to, but let's try it together and that'll be a shared experience that we'll remember. So being creative, inviting people to experiences you want to have and seeing if they want to do them with you. That is what I think of when I think of what's brought me the most happiness this year just gone. Shared experiences.
Nice. That's really good. And when you go travelling, that's a solo endeavour initially?
It is.
And then you're going to meet people out there, I guess.
The way that travelling is designed and hostels are designed is that you'll meet people in hostels that hopefully you'll connect with. So it's very important to pick the right hostel. And then you'll do day tours with people. You'll get chatting with people. And normally, all these social barriers we put in place in the normal world are not there when you're travelling. So you walk into a room, like say just a common area of a hotel, and there's 3-4 people chatting. You would never walk up and say, can I join? Whereas in a hostel, if you see people playing cards, you'll be like, hey guys, I've never seen this game before. Do you mind if I jump in? People are like, yeah, of course, because everyone knows what it's like to be on the outside.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to bring people in. Well, that's what I hope, and that's been my experience. So shared experiences are very easy to cultivate out there because you've just got to be open to trying new things, but you've got to be brave to step into an environment and go, guys, I don't know anyone. Do you mind if I join you? And yeah. You'll likely create those shared experiences with someone.
Nice.
Which is really cool. Next question is, who are the people that had the greatest impact on me? And how can I see and collaborate with them more?
Who were the people that had the greatest
impact on me? How can I see and collaborate with them more?
So I think continuing this podcast,
I should hope so,
is a good idea. No, genuinely, these conversations have had a big impact because it's stretched my thinking away from you must work.
I mean, Jesus Christ, you're coming out to Bali.
I am.
Which is absurd. And you're even talking about coming out to Thailand as well, which is mental. But yes, I will just piggyback off that. I agree, the podcast. But say it so it's said because it's obvious. It's so glaringly obvious. But yes, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. It's been really good to just stretch my mind to think outside. What do I want outside of work? And even if it doesn't actively impact my physical behaviour, my psychological approach to everything I do is now through a slightly widened lens, which is nice. It's increased my perspective.
Nice, man.
I still definitely go through phases where I'm like, no, I've got to work hard. But yeah, so that's been good. Who else has been a big influence / had a big impact on my life this year? One of the tennis coaches called Craig, he owns the club. I think his resilience and just philosophy towards life and just staying positive throughout everything is amazing and incredibly inspiring. And you can better anybody's day just by approaching them with a smile. Just something that simple is mental. It's so good. So yeah, I'd take that forward with me for sure. Nice,
man. I like that. Who are the people that had the greatest impact on me and how can I see and collaborate with them more? That's a really good question. I've alluded before that I have a very strong social circle and I have a real strong core within that social circle. in that group is definitely people that I try and see as frequently as possible. So I feel very blessed in that regard. Naturally, as I've mentioned, the overarching is that I necessarily don't always make a lot of time for everyone. However, I would like to continue to try and make time for the people that are in that core group. And there is a few of them. I think it's only maybe 5, 6, 7 of them. But it's making time for them. You know, I've been able to this year, but just trying to make a more conscious effort, which I know will be difficult because I will be traveling for the vast majority of next year, but it's making time, whether that is FaceTimes, video calls, messages, whatever it is. So allowing that impact to not lessen while I'm away from them, because the friendship, the foundation is built. I think I've been very blessed in that regard this year, but maybe I know I've just isolated myself at times. So I'd like to continue to grow those connections throughout the next few years. What did I expect to complete but didn't? Is this still an important goal of mine? If so, how can I make future follow through more likely? What did I expect to complete but didn't? Is this still a goal of mine? If so, how can I make future follow through more likely?
It's funny, I said how fitness wasn't a priority in 2025. If you'd asked me at the start of 2025, fitness was a priority.
Was it?
It was. I started this year, me and my girlfriend went to the gym 4, 5, 6 times a week. I was having my creatine every day. And yeah, things were going really well. Both of us got a cold at the same time and never got back in the routine.
Really?
Yeah.
It's something as small as a cold that was able to knock you off course.
We were out for a week because we were ill. And yeah, just never got quite back into it. So
why didn't you get back into it?
Because it's easier to not. It's easier to just stay at home and work and convince yourself that that's important. And lose track of the goal, lose track of why you were doing it in the first place. I think maybe one of the things as well is I was working out because I thought I should be working out, rather than working out for the enjoyment of the working out.
So the inspiration wasn't yours.
Yeah. So this year, my goal is to work out and stick with it.
Do you think it's still a goal of yours though? Because if you gave up on it last year because it didn't feel like an authentic goal, do you think it's an authentic goal this year? And how does it feel different?
Yeah, so this year, how am I going to make it more of a thing that I stick with? I really like working out with friends. It's really good fun. Working out by myself takes a lot of motivation for me to get up and do it. So it's unlikely that I'd be able to sustain it. But if I know that I'm going with you, for example, or I could go with Josh, or I could go with Ira, or I could go with a number of friends, or my girlfriend even, that gives me a reason other than just going to the gym to go to the gym. Once I'm there, I know I work out, because my idea of what working out is this is going to be hard. So that's fine. But getting through that gym door is the hardest thing for me. It's like, let's stop what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of an edit, but if I go any later, it's going to be packed. I just need to go.
So how can you make that barrier to entry easier for you?
Yeah, I think it is just going with friends. It's enjoying the process, like try and enjoy or look forward to the activity of doing it rather than just doing it for the result, because that's empty and there isn't really a finish point. It's like, because if I got to your level of jacked now, I'd be like, whew, well happy, let's go.
You wouldn't.
And well, no, this is the thing. And then I'd be like, now what? Because if I stop working out now, I lose this. If I continue working out, this gets better. Like, you can't just stay, you know? There's not a cut-off point. And this is the thing with all goals. So you've got to enjoy the process of doing the thing.
100%. You've got to enjoy the pursuit of it. Yeah, no, I agree. So for you, Well, you did expect to complete, but didn't, was going to the gym.
Consistently.
And now you'd like to change that moving forwards and to make it future proof, or more likely that you follow through, you're going to make the barrier to entry easier.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. I've been reflecting on this one, and I am struggling, which I'm extremely grateful for struggling. But when I think back on the year of what I expected to complete but didn't, every year I try and set out goals that I want to sort of look back on and go, yeah, I'd be happy if I'd done that. And this year I made them a lot more achievable, a lot more manageable. Normally I come at myself with about 10 different ones. They're all different directions. I'm like, I can do all of them. I'm very grateful I was able to achieve my financial goals. I was able to achieve some personal development goals. I suppose the only one that's always been on my list and I've never dedicated time to is learning Spanish. So that's always been on my list. I've never dedicated a significant amount of time to it. So the question is it still an important goal to me? My ego says yes, but my actions say no. So this is something I'm grappling with. Is I do want to learn another language. I don't want to be that stereotypical British person that's like, oh, I don't need to learn another language. Everyone will speak mine. But my actions are speaking otherwise. So I need to realign myself with the importance of that goal. Is it something I still want to chase? Is it still something I want to put as a priority? And if so, what do I need to drop to make it a priority?
Is it still a priority?
I don't know. I think maybe that's the issue. Is if you know, then you would know.
If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Exactly. So yeah, curious. That's my response on that. But I feel very grateful that I've had a few different goals I've been able to achieve this last year. What are the least valuable ways I'm spending my time? How can I prevent myself from continuing to spend my time in this way? What are the least valuable ways I'm spending my time? And how can I prevent myself from continuing to spend time in this way? I'm going to go first.
I was going to say, can you?
Scrolling. Social media. It drives me insane. I was so good at it a few years back. I was off social media. I didn't have social media. It was deactivated. It wasn't on my phone. Whereas now it's on my phone. And I'm consistently getting at least half an hour of scrolling, doom scrolling a day. And I hate it. I feel emotionally, physically drained after it. Even watching a few videos, I'm like, oh, my brain feels fried. I'm stealing dopamine from something else I could have achieved in the day. I'm trying to put books next to me now, so when I'm sitting and doing nothing, I don't immediately go, let's scroll. I pick up the book instead. It doesn't benefit my life in any way, shape, or form. I like social media because it allows me to know what I'm doing, what my friends are doing, around the world. I'm very blessed. I've got friends all over the globe. Love knowing what they're doing, what they're up to. Awesome. But as soon as I go on that explore page, I'm stuck. I'm in. I can't get out, and I hate it. And I know it's very much within my control, and I'm not putting responsibility onto anyone else other than me that I am a lazy piece of shit when it comes to social media. So how can I prevent myself from continuing to spend time in this way is exactly what I said. Having suitable, healthy alternatives. Having a book next to me rather than my phone. Putting the phone away from me when I'm working, when I'm researching. Disconnecting from the thing that lives in my pocket wherever possible. That is the least valuable way I've spent my time. Or has all your time been well spent? It might well have been. You might have found that you've been pretty consistent with your time, or at least you've perceived that the way you've invested your time has been valuable.
Yeah. I think the scrolling is an interesting one because my job is creating the stuff for other people to see on the scroll. So when I am scrolling, there's always a thing in my mind of like, okay, why is this keeping my attention? If it's not, why? So I use it as a learning tool. Obviously, I catch myself in the scroll probably as much as everyone else does. I did implement that rule of like 4 scrolls, then you've got to come out of it and start a new page of scrolling. That has really helped Other than that, I'm pretty happy with how I spent my time in 2025. I mean, maybe the only thing I wish I could change or going forwards do slightly differently will be how much time I've wasted stressing about the future. I'm like, I said in the last podcast, I'm constantly uncomfortable at the moment. I'm not anywhere near where I want to be. I haven't even scratched the surface. I haven't even got past like the air molecules that hover above the drink that I'm about to go into. Mm-hmm. Like, I've got such big goals, and I think just acknowledging that Rome wasn't built in a day, Rome wasn't built in 10 years. Like, what can I do to guarantee my success over the next 20 years should be my reframe. Mm-hmm. Not everything needs to be done now.
Yeah. What can I achieve in this moment that's going to change everything? So I want to know, what small step can I take that's going to allow change to blossom?
Yeah. So that's probably it. But I think when you're self-employed, there's a certain responsibility you have to make sure your business keeps growing.
So it's finding the most valuable way to spend your time rather than investing your time into ways that always seem valuable. You know, so what's the most valuable thing I can do at this moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think alternatively, it's also actually making time to do things that aren't valuable. Because I spend so much of my life optimizing.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe for me, the thing is actually to do the opposite. It's okay to spend some time just watching telly tonight.
Yeah.
So maybe always having a series on the go could be a good thing, because then I have to watch it. It's like, and it's, you know, if it's funny, it probably takes me out of my way of thinking. If it's a really gripping storyline, then I'm more likely to stay with, you know. So finding some good things like that, I think, could be a good solution. But I acknowledge that's not really what the question was, but I think that's probably what I should focus on.
Good way to look at it. Pause there. Yeah, still recording. Something came up and suggested it might not have been. Still is. How have my goals or priorities shifted over the last few months? Is there anything I'm still doing that I'm no longer in alignment with, and why? So how have my goals or priorities shifted over the last few months? I'll go first again. I believed when I started this year that my goals or my priorities were to invest professionally into my career. This is something I worked through in therapy, was like one of the overarching bits of work we were working on is, where do I want my life to go? Do I want to explore the professional avenue? Do I want to explore the personal avenue? And because I got rewarded with Global Summit, I was like, okay, so it's professional. Like, that's absolutely the way I should go. So when I was at the beginning of the year, I was like, right, okay, so professional, how can I grow my career? How can I be better? What promotions can I look for? How can I take courses on LinkedIn Learning? And as time has gone on, my priorities have shifted away from the professional and into the personal. You know, it's gone from wanting to progress personally to professionally to now I've quit my job because there's things I just need to do. There's things I just feel like I need to itch, you know, and I don't feel like my life is in the UK. I never really have done. So why am I living in the UK? Why am I trying to create a life here? It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. My actions weren't aligning with my values. So I had to adjust. So my priorities have shifted towards more personal development in terms of the practicalities that I've learned through therapy and self-development this year. I'm going to put in practice over the next year of trying to find somewhere new to live and set up. And yeah, so my priorities have massively shifted this year. It's been a completely 180, complete professional and personal reversal. But I'm extremely grateful. And also this new podcast has just jumped into it. So priorities have shifted in the sense that my professional alignment has gone, well, I don't want that. I want to focus my professional endeavors onto this. So I feel like I've done a complete flip, but I'm cool with it. I'm here for it. I love it.
Nice. And it's nice to see you excited by that as well.
Man. I never felt excited in the life I was living. It felt like Groundhog Day, and not a Groundhog Day I wanted to keep living. You know, we show up day after day here, but I love it. I'm so here for it. I never know how the day is going to go. We're having inspiring conversations. We're having difficult conversations. I love it. I'm here for it.
Nice.
How have your goals or priorities shifted over the last few months? Is there anything you are still doing that is no longer in alignment?
Really tough. I'm in the midst of this at the moment.
You're grappling.
Yeah. I don't know if it's worth me continuing with YouTube Shorts
Damn.
for multiple reasons. If your YouTube Shorts are some of the best performing ones on YouTube, you only just earn enough to pay your bills. That's a factor. One of the key things that I like about being self-employed is you get paid twice. You get paid from the income and you get paid from the equity you build in your business. With YouTube, you build no equity. I could have Mr. Beast's channel and still not be able to sell it because I'm the personality that people want to see. That means that I'm really working for YouTube. I've got a job. And the great thing about the job is that you have inconsistent income. That's the best thing about it. My intrinsic goals have always been to own a business and sell it. Own a business and sell it. I can't do that with YouTube. I can use it to promote, so it's worth having, but identifying that YouTube's sole purpose probably going forward will be promotion rather than the thing. It's taught me an awful lot of skills. Like, I know how to promote now. I know how to get videos in front of people. I know what metrics are important. And I know I can do that for other people as well. I can, like, if we wanted, this podcast could have been on 1,000 subs. We decided not to go down the live stream route.
Yep.
But if you just have a product to sell and you wanted to get in front of eyes, I can get it in front of eyes. Like, I know I can. I can take any piece of content and improve it, pretty much. It's one of the things I'm semi-confident at in my life. So I think I'm now looking at building some sort of marketing consulting service that I can do and go and do talks around all the different marketing conferences and get some business clients. So I'm doing B2B sales to help them build an organic social media presence that will increase warm leads, ultimately leading to higher converting sales. That is a business that's sellable because then you can train other people under you that can also take on consulting calls, get that running by itself and sell the business. / scale it infinitely.
So your priorities are shifting.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
I've acknowledged that through life you have different vehicles that get you to different positions. So I needed to do YouTube to identify that I can trust my own instincts. And I now can. So now if I feel something is wrong, I trust that feeling immediately. And YouTube Shorts is not feeling like the right decision. Even if the next 4 months are the best months I've ever had with YouTube, it's why is it good?
Yeah.
Like, I've earned loads of money, but if it doesn't pay me next month and it's not worth anything as a sellable thing, it's not worth anything. I've just got some people's attention. If there's no product to sell out the back of it, it wasn't even used as a promotional tool. It was just ego. So having some substance to your business is super important. Having something that's valuable with or without you that you have created is my new priority.
Okay. I like it. That's a really insightful answer. It's really honest with where you are at this point in time. So I'd be really curious to see how this shifts moving forwards into 2026. That is section number 1. Review, so it's got questions. Then memories, so just a quick 10, 20 different memories. Then a plan and final thoughts. We've done the review. Real insightful. Gives us a jumping off point to try and understand ourselves better. I really like it, man. It's been a really enjoyable episode. We're going to leave it there. I'm not going to ask for a word because we've done it. We smashed it.
We did it. We got it right.
We got it with Pig. So yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Now we should ask for a number.
Oh my God, absolutely not.
Good job, my friend.
Smashed it.
Thank you very much for making it all the way to the end. If you've enjoyed it, there's another one that YouTube recommends you watch here, so we think you should watch it as well.